Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and today we are talking about Microsoft Fabric versus Databricks Unity Catalog. So this is basically the metadata management and governance comparison between the two products, right? So I've got my executive summary, my comparison, which is my detailed comparison, my sources. These are the primary sources I used when I was compiling this. So I don't know where you guys want me to start, but I'll start, I guess, with the bottom line, right? This is the TLDR, I guess, or TLDV for YouTube. Anyway, Fabric's metadata governance story is substantially stronger than it was a few years ago, right? OneLake catalog is now a real centralized catalog, and OneLake supports inherited row level and column level controls for supported items. However, Unity Catalog still provides a more coherent enterprise governance model because permissions inherit through a consistent category hierarchy, right? And runtime lineage is automatically aggregated across workspaces down to the column level where possible. For Microsoft-centric organizations, they probably don't give a crap about any of that. They're just going to go with Fabric because it's what Microsoft-centric organizations do. One other thing I need to point out is that this analysis that I did includes both Fabric and Purview. However, Purview is not part of Microsoft Fabric. You pay extra for it. Okay. So why did I include Purview? Well, mainly it was because I figured that if I didn't include Purview, my comment section was just going to be filled up with all these Microsoft fanboys and girls. And well, fanboys, right? I mean, I have no women that watch my channel, right? It's literally, I can tell you that right there. You go, 100% male. So, yep. All right, back to this. All right, so I didn't want all the Microsoft fanboys like putting their comments in there like, oh, Greg, this analysis sucks. It's so bad. You didn't include Purview and you're just purposely trying to make Fabric look bad, blah, 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 and come on, complain, right? And I was like, to head those idiots off at the pass, right? I just, F it, I'll just include Purview. And guess what? Fabric still sucks, right, compared to Unity Catalog. Sorry, but there it is. All right, so overall, Unity Catalog leads for governance, consistency, privilege inheritance, and granular runtime lineage. Fabric's strength is that it integrates with Power BI and Microsoft ecosystem as a whole, right? Duh. Its weakness, governance remains distributed across multiple security and metadata planes with notable lineage gaps. Unity Catalog strength, consistent securable object hierarchy with inherited privileges and automatic cross-run workspace runtime lineage down to columns where possible. And its weakness, not as integrated with the Microsoft and Power BI, right? So surprise, I guess, not. All right, so I broke this down into these 5 kind of main categories: catalog discovery, permission security, granular lineage, Power BI, Microsoft integration, multi-cloud governance. I'll show you in the detailed comparison which lines kind of correspond to what. But for catalog and discovery, this is close. I think Unity Catalog has a slight edge here, but not by much. So it gets a 5, and you could maybe even give Fabric a 4.5 if you wanted to. Permission security, Unity Catalog is substantially better at permission security, in my opinion, than in Microsoft Fabric, and we can get into the details as to why. Granular lineage is pretty weak in Fabric, even with Purview, versus in Unity Catalog, it's really pretty strong. Power BI, Microsoft integration, Microsoft, in Fabric and Purview all day long here, and multi-cloud governance. Fabric is not going to be multi-cloud, right? You can do multi-cloud and all of that with Unity Catalog. All right, so we'll get into this, the detailed comparison again. Catalog and discovery, it's pretty close, like I said. Overall governance model, right? You have the explore, govern, and secure experiences, but governance still spans workspace roles, item permissions, OneLake security, SQL. It's just big mesh up of all these different competing security models, in my opinion, right? I mean, because they kind of took your Synapse and all the security pieces there, and they had to kind of mesh it up with Power BI, which had a completely different way of securing things, right? It ends up in kind of a mess. Versus like the Databricks, it's all very standard and high. It's the same hierarchy everywhere, right? So that just is better, in my opinion, versus this weird, wet kind of mesh of security, different competing security things, right? All right, so let's see. So security and permissions really comes down to this one, right? So again, because it's all consistent, Unity Catalog's inheritance model, easier to reason about across catalogs, schemas, tables, views, volumes, blah, 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 right? Both platforms implement strong controls, but Unity Catalog currently presents them more through an integrated catalog object model. the analysis kept coming back to that. I'll just be honest. Again, multiple overlapping security planes, increased architecture and troubleshooting complexity in Microsoft Fabric. So these are the lines that basically correspond back to the executive summary, this guy, right? So then we get into lineage. So that's basically these lines right here. And this is where Microsoft gets it, Fabric gets some of the lowest scores, right? There's a bunch of twos and things like that in here. And you can argue with me on them, but I've checked and double checked a lot of this stuff, and maybe it is somewhat of a judgment call whether this is a 2 versus a 3, but in some cases it could be a 1, people. So I feel like I'm trying to be generous to Fabric in this regard, right? And it comes down to, like, for example, lineage is aggregated across all workspaces attached to Unicatalog Metastore. Microsoft items that cross workspace lineage for non-Power BI Fabric items are not supported in Purview scanning, right? And you'll see Purview pops up all over the place in here. While Purview can ingest Fabric metadata, and Fabric and Purview provide item-level lineage broadly. Fabric native lineage is useful for workload dependencies, while Purview can ingest Fabric metadata and lineage, right? So I gave it a 3. Versus Unicatalog automatically captures runtime lineage for Databricks queries and relates tables to notebooks, jobs, pipelines, dashboards, and files. So give it a 5. So it's pretty much, that's the story. I don't know. I don't know if you guys want me to like drain, every single one of these. I think that'd be a boring video. So bottom line is Fabric still has a long way to go in terms of the lineage aspects of it. And if you want more details, just let me know. I'll put put this spreadsheet up on GitHub. Microsoft hates Greg GitHub, and we'll go from there, right? Let's see. Power BI integration. Obviously, that's going to be Microsoft. Fabric and Purview. Multi-cloud governance. Again, multi-cloud versus never going to be multi-cloud, so that one goes to Unicatalog. I also added this one at the last minute. I put in AI tools and integration. And you can argue this one, okay? I gave the nod to Unicatalog in this one, but depending on your perspective, and I'll provide mine, but depending on your perspective, this could have gone the other way as well, because Fabric arguably offers the broader end-user Copilot experience, especially for Power BI and Microsoft 365 users. However, Databricks, in my opinion, has the stronger enterprise AI governance architecture, because AI models, agents, tools, and data participate in the same catalog security model as everything else, right? And you can actually control the AI runtime traffic. You can centrally govern that. That's why I gave the nod to Databricks versus Fabric. So that's the analysis. Again, if you want the spreadsheet, I can put it up on the GitHub repository. Just somebody in the comments let me know they want it. But I don't know how useful this is, but I want you guys I do want you guys to notice one thing. I figured out how to do conditional formatting in LibreOffice Calc now, and I can do my little borders. So you guys got to pat me on the back for learning it. And I did also notice something I don't like about LibreOffice is that apparently they don't know the English language very well. They underline shit that is oh, this isn't spelled right. And it's no, that's exactly how you spell that. And I don't know why you don't know that. Oh, this one actually spelled wrong. That one is actually spelled, and that should be attribute-based access controls. But things like workspaces, that's an English word, people. Securable, definitely an English word. Centric, that is also an English word. Programmatically, I don't know whose dictionary you're using LibreOffice, but buy a new one. Okay, that's all I have to say. So anyway, that's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.